I'm going to find the center of my field right now. So what I want to do is just go in here and mark where the center is. So I don't do things that are outside the center. Now that I have the center, I'll take my field guide off and use the cut-in. Because the cut-in will tell me where I need to not go above. So I mark here. You've seen me do this many times. So wherever I mark that, I don't want to go above that. I want to stay within that. That's the one, it's called the 185 cutoff. I'm going to do something different today. I have a pencil here, which is, it's a Colorama pencil. I don't know whether you can see it or not, but it's a blue pencil. And usually I just sketch with black, but in this case I think I'm going to try and do something that's a blue pencil and see what that gets us. And I'll tell you why I do that. This is a rag bag issue, and I have some crows here that we never use, and they're kind of fun designs. And the design that I really like is this one, with the wings pushed way up, you know, and all of the feathers hanging down like the bird is wet. And there's something about this pose that's really, really kind of cool. These look pretty ordinary, but I want to go in here and try and see if I can give that one some life. Now I'm going to sketch with a blue pencil, and I'm going to sketch lightly because, first of all, that's just what works for me. So let's say here's the bird, and here's his body. Right in here would be the tail someplace, and then all the stuff that hangs down right here. Now, in other words, I have a straight, I have a curve, I've got the legs coming down here, and then I have this explosion of feet. Now you can see what the bird's going to look like, really, and I've drawn no details. Next thing I want to kind of do is get the eye located right here. So after I've done this much, it tells me I'm going to put the wings up high because I think that's part of the interest of this bird, and tuck him in. So he's got his head kind of crunched down in his body. But having done this much just lightly in blue pencil, it's pretty easy to go back in and just detail. So that's what I want to do right now. I'm going to sharpen my pencil so that... So what I would do, this is the face, right here. I'm going to give it the little beak. And I want a tiny little eye in the head that's kind of slanted, which I think will make that a lot of fun to do. I'm going to go in just a little tight so you can see what I'm doing. I have a... Okay. I'm going to make an overbite on the bird so as... And then a little color separation there. All right, that makes this a lot of fun. Now, articulating the hanging feathers is also kind of fun. I want it to hold together just kind of like a whole so that it doesn't feel too straggly or separated, and I want our eye to look in the right place. I really like the feel of the straight right there, so I'm going to keep accentuating that, and the body here. And then these are actually feathers, but and the tail coming down here. Now you can almost not see the blue lines, but the blue lines were a guide for me to come in and actually detail this creature. Now, the legs can be a lot of fun, I think. The toes. So I'll do something like that. This one will sit in front. And I find that the more you can make these things not the same, but everything just a little bit different, the more interesting it gets. So basically what you have is you have, and you saw us do it at the very beginning, you have straight against a little curve, a head that's stuck low, and then you have the crotch of the bird and his baggy or ragged pants, which would be feathers. And then down below, this spray of feet that goes out. Now, when we were designing Jeremy the crow, there was lots of different kinds of birds, and this was one of them that we did, but we never used this design. And I've always kind of liked it because Jeremy was not as sinister a look as this. Jeremy had, you know, a happier kind of thing, and I could draw you Jeremy and show how what the difference was, but his head was up high, and then he had a ruffle of feathers around his neck, and the wings were carried down here kind of low. So, I mean, that's kind of fun. Now that I've got that, I could take another pencil here and I could draw a little crow that's maybe baby crow of this one. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to push his wings up really high, like he's looking at mom. And I'll make his pants even baggier. And little stubby toes for feet. And then a tail that really hasn't matured too much. But see, you get an impression almost right away of what kind of drawing you're going to be aiming for without actually detailing the whole thing. So that's really a fun thing. I think I'd like to make his beak just a tad larger. Do the overbite, make the beak larger. All right, let's see what happens when I detail this now. Eyes big, looking up at mom. I think I can go down and get a little closer so you can see what we're doing here. And there we go with that. So this would probably be some kind of yellow little beak that's hanging down there. And then all the little feathers that go to that. And it gives us kind of a baby version of this. And it's a different kind of a look than just drawing the generic crow. I'm going to make him just a little fatter than usual. I've gotten the feet, it looks like he's falling over backwards. I'm going to move the feet back just slightly when I detail so that he doesn't feel like he's falling over. Make his toes sort of stubby. There we go. And then same thing happens down here. Here's the little trousers that he wears. And all the little toes. This kind of character would be so easy to animate. And what's fun is to take these characters and then find different positions for them. Figure out how to make them, and I'll back this up just slightly, how to make them open their wings. What does the wing look like? And I wanted to do one more thing in this little tip. I wanted to show you just a little bit about what the bird's wing does. So I'll put a piece of paper down right here. And I want to show you the bird. I'm going to draw the baby bird. So the one we just finished drawing. And let's say that I do the little straight of the back. Here's the hanging stuff. Here's the little belly. Now I'm going to draw the wings. Now the wings, probably he has a very small neck, but if the wings were like this, and the feet sort of like that, he's off the ground. That means the shoulders are probably clear up in here. So I want to bring the wing out like this. This represents really, this little thing right here, that would be a thumb. This would be like the thumb. This would be the wing itself. And then this would come down in there like that. So he really has no neck. And then this, the same thing. Here's the thumb. Here's the wing. Maybe something like that. Now notice this point right here. Rather than just draw feathers like this, I draw something that's a radius out of that one point. Do you see that? So that when I draw the feathers, I make them conform to that radius. And you get a much better design. If I were to go in here and detail this, And this would probably be right here. There's the wrist. And this is a color separation in here. So this would be darker color, maybe lighter underneath the wings. But what I want you to pay attention to is the radial direction of the feathers on the wing. I think that's kind of really important. And even though he's a tiny little bird, a baby bird, he's got big wings. All right, let's draw this little head that has no neck. I'm going to shift the eye because I can see that would be better. Look him down. And there it is right there. And here's the back. This is the belly. And let's get the the pants, or the little, he's got baggy pants. Get them working for us. His little feet. Since he's a baby, I'm going to just cheat a little on the design. I'm going to try and accent this and this, so that's all part of the same rhythm of line. So you can get a little bit of a clue about, you know, what may make this thing work. So here's one of the things right there, goes right down to the toe. Dancers know this very well, that you try and make body line work for you. And this is the way the wing works with this radial look. So this gives you an idea of how these little birds might work. We never got to use this design of a bird, but I've always liked it, and somewhere, maybe, who knows, someday I might get a chance to use it. Anyway, there's a little drawing from the rag bag.